Yeah. Greetings. You know, we as a people must come to the realization that we are all creators. Whether you accept it or not, we are creators. And we must come to that realization. You know. Sometimes in this lifetime, we as a people tend to miss the mark because we have been taught that we are gods, that we are this and we are that. But it's simple. We are creators and was created and formed to be that way. 'Cause in this lifetime, you have to be a creator of solutions to issues that would occur within your immediate life. You 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 funny. I see you on the live. I just recognize that you're on the live. You ain't easy though. Yeah, you ain't easy. You ain't easy at all. I'm telling you, you ain't easy. You ain't easy. You ain't easy. You never you know that you're on the live, but it's all good. It's all about support, showing the oneness, showing who and what we are, moving as one, moving as the fullness of team and teams. And that's what we have to do. Because I need you and you need me. You know. So this is what it's about. Life. Let's live life to the fullness. Let's full joy each other and continue to move forward and be what we ought to be. Be what we ought to be. You know, as we sit and wonder about creation and where we came from and knowing about blackness and comprehending the fullness of blackness, because a lot of us just look at blackness as if it is nothing, like they teach us. They teach us that blackness is nothing. But I know that blackness is life. Non-life cannot produce life. It takes life itself, it takes consciousness. Consciousness itself is life. Consciousness is vibration. It takes the vibration to create consciousness within man. That's what it takes. It takes the consciousness. It takes the vibration to create consciousness within man. And this is what it's about. And blackness within itself is a vibration, and it is the highest vibration. It is the highest frequency. So when you accept that blackness is nothingness and think that it is so, then I think you are wrong, and you have not really thought it through. Because when you know that life came out of blackness, all life, all form of life came out of blackness, then why would you as an individual accept that blackness is nothingness? Why would you accept that blackness is nothing? Blackness is the substance of all, because the all comes from blackness, and the all is maintained in blackness. And this is what we as a people must realize. It is here, because blackness itself is the vibration that started all things. So let us continue to be what we ought to be, and know that life is blackness. For blackness is the vibration, and the vibration came from the blackness. You know, I was speaking to a friend of mine just the other day and showing them that one thing in the story of man that they have left out, it is the story about Parthenogenesis. And that part of man they have intentionally left out. You know, when you comprehend truly the full story about Parthenogenesis, then you would come to the comprehension that the female is the original, and that is her who continue to reproduce in the way that she ought to be. How long are we going to continue to ignore and withhold the information about Parthenogenesis? How long? For all the parts, all the organs, everything that a woman need, that a woman have in place, it is there to perform, to fulfill, to impregnate. But the question becomes, why not? Because it have become mentally, it's normal. The normal thing is for a man to penetrate a woman. That's the norm right now as we speak. But the norm was that the female would impregnate themselves, then produce the baby, then bring forth the baby. This is the pure and a pure people. This people is not corrupt. What is an impure people? It is a people that deal with penetration. You see, penetration is what have all the mix up today. If it wasn't for penetration in the way it is today, every man, every male penetrates a woman, and that male, the outside appearance of that baby would become. This is why when the white male slept with the dark woman, she produced a white female. Okay? She produced a white female. And from there, that's how the white female came into existence. You see, the white male was produced by the dark woman. Okay? And after the dark woman produced the, the white male, and over a period of time, penetration started to happen. And when penetration started to happen, the white male sleeping with the dark woman impregnate her and produce the white male. Okay? And that's how it is, and that's what it was. This is why I said, this is why they say their version of Adam and Eve is the virgin that the male is first and the female comes after that. But in our virgin, the female comes first, which is truth, and then the male. Because that's the original. Female, then male. Within the Caucasian people, the white male came first, then sleep with the dark woman through penetration. And upon penetration, that dark woman produced a white female. And that's what it is. Still comes from the dark woman. Okay? This is why you see the skin color of a white male sleeping with a dark woman a lot lighter, because they take on the characteristics of the father, because the sperm cells have become the protective covering of that baby. And even so, the fetus, the baby, take on the characteristics of the father and the outward part of the father, for the inward part of those majority times be of that mother, because the mother is what really started it in the first place. That is what carries that seed, and the male produce and carry the protective covering. This is why all those sperm cells, billions, as they would say, would connect together and create that protective covering over that fetus and become what it becomes. And this is how we know parthenogenesis would continue to be what it is today. You know, this is how we know that. So don't be fooled by the stories that they have told you. Don't be fooled by the story. But know that parthenogenesis is real. I so fully convinced that they have hidden every person that have performed, or even they have suppressed that information. They made sure that no information of that sort to be suppressed, to make believe that this baby is not natural for you to produce in that manner, to make that person or people believe that if they get a baby or get impregnate without a male sperm cells, that that is demonic, that that is not natural, that that is not good, and they put all kind of label upon it. And this is why today we cannot see, we cannot hear, because who is the gatekeeper is the doctors. The doctors are the true gatekeepers, and making us as a people never come into that awareness of the true level of parthenogenesis, or get it promoted or recognized. The doctors are the true gatekeepers. Anytime any person, any person comes into that doctor's office and that person claim that they're pregnant and they never had sex, that doctor will immediately shut that down. He'll find a way to abort that baby. He'll find a way to destroy that person's mental capacity. They will destroy them. He'll make them believe that it's not right. That's not good. This baby will be born with all kind of things. This is what they will make them believe. This is what they'll make them abort this baby. Instead of let them bring forth this baby and allow this baby to grow up to be what it ought to be, they do not want this to exist within the earth anymore or any further. So they go out their way to make sure that this never happen, and continue to be these doctors, to be the gatekeepers for the system that they have created and made. So I'm saying to you, this is one part of the story they don't want to talk about, which is parthenogenesis. They want to continue in the patriarch system. They want to continue because they feel useless if a woman get pregnant on her own. And this is what I'm saying to you. This is what I'm saying to you. So let's be clear. Parthenogenesis, it's a thing not only of the past, because if was not for parthenogenesis, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here. And we need to know that. Okay? Okay? We need to know that. You see, when things come naturally, and flows, as a pregnant woman become pregnant over time because of parthenogenesis, that was the way, that was the true connection that the woman had in the dark age. And this is what I'm saying to you. The true connection that the woman had in the dark age. You see, when I speak about the dark age for me, it is when the Creator, which is image is blackness, created and formed the earth. And as it formed the earth, it used the materials of the earth to create and form woman. And as it create and form woman have and still today have that ability to create within themselves. Now, the woman didn't have to learn to create a baby. The woman bear, produce, and brought babies into this realm. Okay? Now, using the consciousness, using the vibration, which create consciousness, and they come through, and a fetus is formed, and life become as they come through the womb of the woman, as she lay her life down for them. She is that which nourish, cares, and produce what she ought to produce. And if you know the story of how male came forth, male didn't just came forth because of it was planned for so. No. The sun is what disrupt everything. Okay? The sun is what disrupt everything. Because before darkness, because darkness, which is blackness itself, and then darkness came after the creation of man. Man was the light of the world in the presence of the darkness. And because of the light, which is the vibration, that aura around man, which is the woman that was present, this aura combining with the blackness, it becomes darkness. See, darkness, it take two. It take blackness and the light, which is the vibration, the aura that around the woman that was present in the time of the dark age. This is what it is. So darkness did not come until the combination of two, which is blackness and the light. And that light was the woman that was present in the presence of the blackness. And because of that light, which reflects from the blackness, it becomes that which we know today as we call it the moon. Because this so-called space that we now see today, that is miles away, which is the blackness, this blackness was upon us. And this light that reflected after the blackness, and this is where woman, and this is why they were called the light of the world. There was the chosen, There's the pure people. You see, there's no mix up when the woman dealt with parthenogenesis. There was no inbred. It was pure people. It was a chosen people. The dark woman produced and bring forth a pure people. Wherever male penetration happens, it is not pure. This is where the mix-up became. You see, when you comprehend the dark age that occurred, the dark age, truly, the true dark age, I'm talking about not no fake dark age like how they make it to be some story. No, they talk about some dark age, but they never speak about the real dark age, which is when the woman was in the presence of blackness, for the woman was the true light. And because of them being the light, which was around them, combined in with the blackness, and that's when it become the dark age. You see? This is when the creator is the shadow, is the covering, the protective covering. Okay? Say talk about living under the protection of the Almighty, which is under the blackness. Okay? See, they had no sun, and there was no sun. It was the blackness. It became, man became the light. Okay? Man, which is the woman, became the light and was the light of who? That which is the creator, which is blackness. Basically, if you can see what I see, which is the vibration, the aura of man, which was the woman, was as if they was the stars in reverse today, as it is the stars in the sky in the night. And this is what I'm saying to you. There become the light, and there was the light. They never overpowered the blackness, but they were the light for the blackness. Okay? It's a different. You see, when the sun manifested itself, it was over time. It was over time. And this is what they don't teach. They don't teach these things. They don't speak of these things. They does not do it. They make you believe that man, then the woman, and then penetration happened, naturally it happened. No, it didn't. It didn't happen so. Now, the woman who was created and formed of the woman, just like a tree. Because remember, woman was the first tree that planted by the rivers that bring forth fruits in its season. And it did, and she did. Okay? Woman brought forth fruits because she represents that tree. She did. Now, over time, because we know that there was no sun. We know that there was no sun. We know there was no sun. Sun didn't immediately show up. No. Sun came after the fact. Okay? Sun came after the fact. Tell me, the moon came before the sun. Because the moon came from the presence of the woman. That's why the woman and the moon are connected. You see it? You see, the Son came after what? After the woman expanded upon this earth for so many years, I would say years, but for us to comprehend, but they never look and see years because they were living in eternity as we are today. We are still living in eternity, but because we were brainwashed into time, even so we accept it as normal. But what is normal? What is normal is to know that you are truly in eternity. You are living in eternity. Blackness is eternal. It's everywhere. It's not in part. It's everywhere. You see, the lights can be turned off. As you would say, the sun can be turned off. Okay? But blackness cannot be. Blackness always there. I don't care what it is. Blackness is present. Because blackness itself is life. Blackness is vibration. Without the vibration, nothing would stand. Nothing would be what it is today. That simple vibration is what spark our life and continue to spark life to date. That vibration, that simple vibration. When we can't feel it, it still vibrates. When we can't see it, it still vibrates. Blackness is that way. Okay? So when people making believe that without the sun, man cannot exist, man existed before without the sun. Let's make it clear. Man existed before upon this earth without the sun. Let me say it again to you. Man, which is the woman, existed before the sun. You see it? Man did. See, and this is where we need to recognize. When you truly recognize that, then you will look at things in a different perspective. You will see things in a different perspective. And after the sun appeared, this is when the disruption truly appeared. When the sun appeared, also the division, the disruption, fear, everything came, violence came with the sun, fear came with the sun, disruption came with the sun. The sun disrupted everything that truly exists. Don't forget the Book of Blackness. Let us walk in oneness. Let us walk in truly and truly be free. Oneness, wholeness, and the highest love. It's all good. Yeah. To end this live now.